Hey y'all, thank y'all for being here. I'm sorry about all these problems and communication that's going on. I don't know what's happening. Um, but I had to come on here so we could have a conversation about what's going on the Diddy trial because number one, I will have to do at least 10 videos to just get what's going on. So I said, we'll just sit here, we'll talk about it, we'll go through what happened with the day because today was cross examinations. Today, they asked all of Cassie's texts were revealed today. The big thing that people are talking about is one of her texts where she says she's ready to do a freak off. And but one thing for sure is that Diddy's team, according to Tisha Tells, and she is boots on the ground in New York, they are not ready. Diddy's team, she said the words fumbling and bumbling. Those were her words. And I agree with that. I believe that because Diddy's team wanted to extend the date for this trial, but they would not do that because they were like, we're doing it on the 5th. So, as of even this morning when they were starting, um, they had 400, 400 exhibits they had to go through to 3 o'clock this morning. And they were saying that we can't do this throughout the trial, right? Y'all got to have y'all stuff together. And even Cassie's lawyer was like, we have to talk about it because I need to know what are y'all going to ask her. So they are in a crazy state. They are around there, don't know what's going on. They don't know what they're doing. But y'all, and then I was trying to do a video in the middle of lunch, is what I thought when they had a recess. Child, I went and did a hot topics. As soon as I posted it on one place, they're back in the courtroom. They calling the jury back in. So y'all just be patient with me. We're gonna get through it. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. And then we just gonna get it going. So today, May 15th, Cassie's cross-examination. I told y'all that before there were problems. The lawyer said he had the right to be up there. And then they started with asking Cassie what Cassie had come in and they started talking about their relationship. They had been in a relationship for 11 years and they're saying that she took care of him. Cassie responded in some ways. She called him Sean. The the defense was asking, did she feel like in years? She was like, I wouldn't so much call it coming back. And then they were like, when he cheated on you, did it hurt? She said, not every time. What's going on when these messages were sent? Now, there were a lot of this that they talked about. And because the defense doesn't have their stuff together, Cassie only was able to read them and then she could respond. So we don't know everything that the texts were, not everything. But because they don't have their stuff together, because they didn't get the discovery to the prosecution, Cassie was only able to read it. So she said the AUSA, they objected it. Hey, Linda, what's going on? You can hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay. So then they talked about this 2009 email. My phone keeps refreshing. She sent him, I love you, smiley face. I'll fly anywhere for you. Wait a minute. And it said, and she said, I love you, Cass. This was a 2009 email. And AUSA said objection, that's hearsay. And then they recognized that he called her a baby girl. And then, like I said, not all the text could be heard. So she had to read a lot and just respond. And he said right here, well, the lawyer said right here, what did you write? She said, you hungry, Pop Pop? And Combs said, We are so in love, we don't do anything else. How long had you been seeing each other? She said for like 2.5 years at this point. So then they asked her, please read this 1364. She read it and it says, I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try to. You rushed me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention. So they're asking her, so you wanted special time with Mr. Combs? She said yes. Then he said, you testified you told him I love you so much you make me a better woman. Cassie said, I definitely wrote those messages. And then they said, you wrote, I can't wait until we have a baby of your own. And then they said, you did know that he had 6 children. She said, yes. I think I talked about this earlier. Hey, Marietta. And then they went on to say, this was explicit messages. And I think that the judge did not like all of the explicit messages. He wanted them to just kind of filter through it because it's a lot, right? And so the lawyer asks, this was an explicit message from you about um, anticipated upcoming freakouts. The AUSA said objection. So they took a recess. They came right back, and the judge said, you may proceed. And the lawyer said, Ms. Ventura, this is from Mr. Combs to you. You respond with an extremely explicit message, right? She said, yes. And he said, this is 2 days after the planning of the freakouts, right? She said, yes. So then the lawyer said, he said, I want to see you. How do you reply? She said, I can't wait either. Then the lawyer said, you wrote, I feel like I want to bang, bang, right? And Ventura said, that's what it says. And Mr. Combs says, I'm so wanting you, I can't concentrate. What do you say? So Cassie then said, I'll go to Dwayne Reed for candles and then set up the room. And then they asked, do you understand that he was going to take another video of you? They said, objection is speculation. Um, the judge said, you can move on. And then the judge asked Cassie, you asked for any pills. Did they have any pills on you? She said, yes. Then they asked her, what pills were you taking? She said, opiates. And then he said, you deleted videos on your devices, right? She said, yes. What did you write? That I need to feel this is my husband, the only one who will see this side of me. So they're trying to make it look like Cassie wanted all of this, right? That she was in a, she did say she loved him. She went on to say that she loved her. Then they said, were you afraid that Mr. Combs was only seeing you for bang bang in this way? She said that was a concern of hers. And then he asked, you still were not public in your relationship with him? She said, that's correct. And then he asked, were freak-offs important? And then she said, integral to us. So I feel like she was doing it because she said she loved Puff. She wanted to make him happy. Hey, Tia, can y'all hear me okay? I hope y'all can hear me okay. Then we went on to say who was at your 21st birthday party? Britney Spears, Dallas Austin. How did you get them there? She said they came for Sean. And then they said, you're very beautiful. She said, thank you. And then the lawyer said, it's true. Who is Tommy Mottola? Cassie said, a well known producer. And then he asked her, the lawyer asked her, you were an up and coming star. And Cassie said, I guess you could say that. The lawyer said, after you signed with Bad Boy, things were still platonic. She said, yes. Now, then they talk about when she was on 106 in Park. It did not go well. And then the lawyer asked, how did he help you after that? She said that they made a YouTube video. He said, everybody makes mistakes. And the lawyer asked her what was wrong. And she said, I don't know. He said, you just need to be honest. And then the lawyer said, you need to be honest. And then Cassie said, I don't know what to say. And then Are y'all so intrigued? Y'all, I could not events, and the judge overruled it and said, let's keep moving. And she said she had 3 tattoos, one on the arm, and no regrets. So then they asked, Mr. Combs taught you how to do oral. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. I know this is impromptu. I didn't have time to talk about it or post about it, but I wanted to get this information. Oh, wait a minute. Where was I? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Then it said that Mr. Combs taught you to do oral. She said he did. And then he asked her to look at this. Tell me when you're ready. Can you read it? Cassie said, you can read it. It's making me laugh. It's from 2007. Then the lawyer said, you wrote, I feel protected. You're sweet. Now, when I was listening to Tisa Tales, she was like, she really wasn't laughing. It was just, well, I guess they said she was laughing, but she said it was just really different. And don't take what people are saying at its word. It's just the way she looked that they're talking about. Oh, no. So then Combs' lawyer said, you wrote, I see that Carrie is better fitting for you. I'm hurt that you think I'm malice. You're very important to me. X, Cass. And then Cassie started laughing. And the lawyer said, what are you trying to convey? She said, it's like a journal entry. So then the lawyer is like, you discussed Carrie Morgan. Did you think Mr. Combs was attracted to her? Cassie said there was a point in the very beginning. Then the lawyer said, did that complication carry on in your relationship? She said, not really. Carrie was just always with us. And Carrie is a person that she recently said that she fell out with. Oh, no. That she recently said she fell out with because allegedly Diddy had struck her in the head with a wooden hanger. So then, oh God, wait a minute. Y'all, this says 18 minutes ago. Um, Mr. Combs went to your premium lunch at London Hotel. She said he did. Then he says, I just got out of a spiritual therapy session. And Cassie said, I asked, how did it go? And the lawyer said, he said, it's a process. This is leading up to the hotel incident. So then the lawyer says, you say, baby, I want a FO, a freak off so bad. You were asked in your direct and you said you didn't want him to ruin your premiere. Cassie said, sure. And then the lawyer said, Mr. Combs says, if we start at 7 p.m. and go until 4 a.m., you can get enough rest after. Yes? Start at 7 p.m. at night and go to 4 a.m. in the morning? That is certifiably insane. Hold on. Y'all, this is crazy. Let me go to this. Oh my God, this is crazy. So, okay, so here it goes. Combs wrote to you, I want to freak out right now. And you wrote that you wanted to, LOL, me too. She said, I texted more than that, but you did text that to him. Mr. Combs wrote to you, Jules is available if you are into it. So that is the part that people are talking about. Diddy said that he wanted to do a freak off. She said that she wanted to do one too. LOL, me too. And she said, I texted more than that. So I don't know if they're writing everything that's being texted out. I don't know. Well, no, they're not doing that because it's not on here. And then he asked her, you could have, well, the lawyer said, you could have said yes or no. And you said, love you. Cassie said, there was no yes or no. The lawyer said, bring up B 420 on page 2. Mr. Combs wrote, do I have your permission to set up freaky fun? You wrote ovulation. And she said yes. So she was what? And y'all know she had to do this on her cycle. Okay. supplies. Cassie said lubricants, outfits. And then he went on to say, he says, have fun, impress me. You say, okay. He says, can we kiss a lot? What do you say? She said, yes. And then the lawyer said, you wrote, I left the iPad. And Cassie said, I don't know whose iPad this meant. Hey, Gail. Hey, Kimberly, mother of six, Betty, Tia, Marietta. Hello, everyone. Y'all, this is a lot. This is a lot. We got 7 more weeks. We got 7 more weeks. Combs wrote that I've been there right after my session. This was in June 2017. Do you remember arguments you were having at that time? She said, not specifically. And then he said, here you say the game starts at 10 p.m., no breaking character to 8 a.m. 10 p.m. to 8 a.m.? Yeah, I just can't believe, I'm sorry. I can't believe, I'm just going to say this for myself. I feel like the way Cassie was talking yesterday, that she went along to get along with Diddy because she didn't want him to be angry with her or be violent. I feel like she was saying things that she needed to say in order to get along with him. Do y'all feel like that? Do y'all feel like that? Let me know. Then Cassie went on to say, this was a game a friend of mine told me, a way to rekindle your romance. Combs lawyer said, by doing something different in the bedroom. And then she was like, it's a whole getting into character thing. And then he said, Mr. Combs says, let's get some outfits and go to a X club. You feel like that, Kimberly? Hey, Tammy. Hey, Gail. Hey, Lynn. Hey, T-Rena. I was getting my brows done, and then the lawyer said, do you come to know Mr. Combs was leaving to freak off to go see Kim Porter? She said, yes. Let me read that again. The lawyer said, did you come to know Mr. Combs was leaving to freak off to go see Kim? Kim, and Cassie said it promoted arguments. She said it did. And then the lawyer asked, and he thought you were not faithful. What were your reactions? She said it was scary. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm gonna try to get through it and then we'll talk later about it. So she was aware of Gina and she felt a way about Gina. And then Combs wrote to you, let's do something different in New York this weekend. FYI, Dave hit me. What does it mean? She said Dave reached out. And then he said, and Daniel contacted you. Did this mean you might have a freak off? She said it could happen. Then the lawyer says he tells you you better put me on VIP vibrate alarm or something. He's frustrated you don't answer his text fast enough. She said, right. Then the lawyer said, you tell him to come to New York, understanding there could be a freak out. She said, maybe. Then he went on to say, you also saw the Book of Mormon. She said, yes, and she starts laughing. Mask pleasure, is that a X club? She said, I would assume. And then he asked her, are you ready for tonight? Diddy would ask her, was she ready for tonight? And what do you say? She said, yes, I just have to get some things. Then Cassie said, this is not about what I felt, right? Because you are skipping over a lot here. The lawyer said, what did you write? As much as you think you're Bruce Willis, you're not. Your kids were babies when you started dating. So there's some things that have been left out. I know it's probably freezing, y'all. We're gonna have to talk about it like towards the end of the day to just do a whole wrap up. but I think it's over right now. So let's just get through this and we'll talk. So then he goes, if you saw him on social media on vacation with, was it heartbreaking? She said it could be. I was 7 years in. So 7 years in, he's cheating on her on vacation with other women. She felt away. And then he said, and what about this? About Gina. You wrote, I don't want to be a side piece, but I'll treat you as a king. Do y'all think that that is just how he wanted her to talk to him? Because Diddy was going to do what he was going to do. It didn't matter. But she felt like, 7 years in at this point, why are you cheating on me? Still. So the lawyer says, you wanted to be the main girlfriend. She said in 2013, yes. You saw social media posts of Mr. Combs with other girlfriends and got angry, right? She said, can I speak? I was jealous of certain situations. And then he said, did there come a time he suspected you were in relationships with someone in the industry? Mr. Miss Cuddy, so Kid Cuddy. She said, yes. Mr. Combs thought it would be good for your career if you collaborated with Mr. Cuddy. I mean, Mr. Miss Cuddy. She said, yes. Then he went on to ask, hello, twins flame. Then he went on to ask, why did you begin your relationship with Mr. Kid, with Kid Cudi? I'm just going to say that. She said, we enjoyed each other's company. And she was asked, were you in a relationship with Mr. Combs? She said they breakups with him. She said yes. So she's in relationship with Kid Cudi, who eventually, allegedly, Diddy blew his car up. And we talked about that yesterday or the day before yesterday because Diddy had a meeting with Kid Cudi and he was like, what are we talking about? And Diddy never answered anything because Kid Cudi was like, what's up with my car? But she is on a break from Diddy with Kid Cudi, but still doing freak offs. Oh my God. Then the lawyer says, after Mr. Combs found out by going through your phone, you went to see him. You said, yes, you knew he was upset. He previously attacked Can y'all hear me now? Let me know. Because I don't know what's going on. It froze and went off. He brainwashed, gaslit her. She deserves every dime she got. After this, she needs more. I would never like that. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Please put a one in the chat. Oh, okay. So we're back. Okay. Oh, girl, I was so devastated. I thought I was going to start this all over. Okay, we're back. Let me get back to it. Because, child, that was a lot. Where was I? Okay, so I ended at she was going with Kid Cudi. She and Diddy were on a break, but she was still doing with Diddy. Okay. Combs. Hello? No sound. Hello? Can y'all hear me? I know it's the sound. Yes. Can you hear me? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. I'm sorry about this. I don't know what's going on, child. This is back. Like I said, she's with. Okay, let me get through it. So after the Kid Cudi situation, she's talking to him. After Mr. Combs found out you by going through your phone, you went to see him. You knew he was upset. He previously attacked you. She said, yes, I thought it'd be safer with other people. They took a break. They came back at 2:38 p.m. So the judge was like, okay, let's get Miss Ventura back in the jury. Everybody comes back. The lawyer says, your affair with Mr. Cuddy was only a month long, but you got a burner phone for it. She said, yes, right. Mr. Combs kicked you in the back. She said, yes. Then the lawyer said, this came up later in your relationship that you had cheated on him with Kid Cudi. She said he brought it up quite a bit. Then the lawyer was like, when he cheated, he said, well, you had an affair with Kid Cudi, right? And she said, sometimes. Now, Diddy's sleeping with everybody. Diddy got Gina. She has mentioned Kim and whomever else. But Kid Cudi is what keeps coming up and he's pissed about. So then the lawyer says he suspected you of having an affair with another person in the industry. You were in South Africa filming. She said, yes, Honey 3. And then he said, while you were there, you saw a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina and were irate, right? She said, angry. She said, and then the lawyer's like, you blocked him and focused on the movie, right? She said, I tried my best. And then he was like, Mr. Combs suspected you of a relationship with whom? She said, Michael B. Jordan. That's why Michael B. Jordan is in this. Because Diddy thought she was talking to him. Now, Kid Cudi, now Michael B. Jordan. Then he said, you sent a video not only to Mr. Combs, but also to staff. Who? D-Rock? She said, yes. You sent it to them because you were angry with all of them. She said, I was hurt. I spent all of my time with them. And then the lawyer said, you thought they were in on it. So then he asked, the physical abuse, when did your father learn about it? She said, same time as my mother. Now, you know what's in the blogs is she did not, when her mom found out about it, she didn't tell her mom about all of the things that had gone on before she told her. She said it had happened that one time. So then he said, did Mr. Combs come to Connecticut to speak to your parents? She said, I don't know if it was then. And then he said, Carrie Morgan knew about the abuse. She said, yes. Then the lawyer asked, the eyebrow gash incident, what was that about? She said, didn't answer the phone and went to sleep. I was supposed to be packing for a trip. That's the trip that I talked about earlier to Canada with Drake. And he had hit her on her, he threw her into the bed frame and cut her eye. But Cassie went on to Canada anyway for the OVO fest. She went on. So that's what she said. Didn't answer the phone and went to sleep. I was supposed to be packing for a trip. The lawyer said, was he inebriated? She said, I don't remember that. And then the lawyer asked, why were you asleep? She said, a drink at the Abbey had something in it, I think. And then he said, well, did Mr. Combs ever abuse you while he was inebriated? Then say he didn't. Remember it? She said yes. Then she was asked, did you feel he was not taking responsibility? She said yes. Then she was asked, for drugs, you both go to rehab. Cassie said rehab wasn't really a thing during our relationship. Then she was asked, the freak offs were an opportunity for you to take drugs together? She said yes. And then she was asked, you went a show in Vegas? Is that what it is? Let me know. Or is that something? I don't know what Burning Man is. I thought it, I might be getting that mixed up with something. And then he asked, well, the lawyer asked, did you ever call yourselves get high partners? She said, we did. Did you take drugs from him without him knowing it? She said, yes. What was his reaction? She said, explosive. Did he tell LA dealers not to deal with you? She said, yes. Then the lawyer said, you told Miss Karam that you learned only after the fact that Mr. Combs had dangled Miss Bungolin over the balcony. She said, I'm not sure. And he asked, you were on drugs? She said, I'm not sure. And then she was asked, you got a life coach for your drug use according to this document. Cassie said, I don't know who that person is. Said it was a rough time. She said it was a rough time when asked, was she doing a lot of drugs during that time? Have the golden door. She said it was a spot. There was a time I lost all sense of smell and taste and woke up in a hospital with an IV in my arm. I tried to get help. Y'all, how you lose your smell and your taste doing I mean, that's how many drugs are you doing? Hey, I'm Queen. Coming back. Okay, here we go. Combs. So then she was asked, the time after San Bernardino, you learned that he had overdosed. She said, a very strong opiate, yes. She was asked, were you ever not addicted to painkillers? She said, we took IBOG. She was asked, where'd you get it? She said, Cancun, Mexico. Okay. Yeah, I said COVID too, Queen. I mean, I said COVID too. But, okay. So then Combs' lawyer said, when Mr. Combs threw you off the boat in Cannes, when he accused you of taking drugs and squeezed your leg, she said, among other things. The lawyer also said then, but you still wanted to be with him. She said, I did. Oh, Jesus. So then he asked, switching topics, when you say Mr. Combs went with Bang Bangs to find Suge Knight, do you remember telling the government that you did go with them? She said, no. And he said, let me show you. And she said, just for parties. Then she said, I did not go with him, so I don't think I said that. Then she was asked, you also did drugs with Miss Morgan, right? She said, yes. And then she was asked, do you recall telling the government that you did not set what he did, hitting her in the head with a wooden hanger? Remember, I just told y'all that's why her and that Karen girl not together, not friends anymore, because Diddy beat her in the head with a wooden hanger. She said, I saw the hanger. I saw he was angry. That I was doing drugs with Carrie. Carrie, that's her name, not Karen. Then the lawyer said they broke you up. They broke up your 17-year friendship with her. She said it did. And then she was asked, did you tell Mr. Combs about your relationship with your None with your now husband? She said no, because her now husband was her trainer. Um, then she was asked, Miss Morgan sued you and Mr. Combs. She said, made a demand. And then the lawyer said, you paid part of that? She said, I did. And then she was asked, and you haven't spoken with her since? She said, maybe one text. Then she was asked, what was the relationship? That was the relationship ender? She said, yes. Then it was saying, would you heat up the baby oil? She said, yes. Now, is this from the day before the Intercontinental Hotel incident? The AUSA Johnson said, this is a long document. We need time to read it. Y'all, they have not entered a lot of stuff. They have not entered a lot of stuff. Queen Liz said, we all know when women file reports and such against these high power money people, they get lost or misconstrued. Yep. That's, they trying to slide in a few of everything. Aries 66 said drugs are a terrible thing. And I mean, honey, it is. To take your smell and your taste away. Hold on, let me see what I can find right here. Hold on one second, y'all. Mm, mm, mm. I don't understand what's going on today. Um, we did all that. We talked about all that. Hold on. Y'all, this is crazy. I'm sorry. This is insane. This is insane. So, wait a minute. What was that? Hold on, y'all. Let me see something. Phone is being wonky. This is crazy. So 4 minutes ago, the judge asks, "Is there if there are more issues, someone needs to email the court." Again, issues off the docket. They are not prepared. I was listening to Tisa Tales, and she said Diddy's lawyers are not prepared for this. They are fumbling and bumbling over there. They do not have it together. And they said the prosecution yesterday really messed them up, how they questioned her. But with her reading these text messages saying that she was ready for these things, LOL, I was jealous when he got with Gina. You know, it's gonna make people look at her a little different. But I don't believe nothing that did. I don't believe Cassie that she would want it like that. I can't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way. There's no way anybody wants to be treated like that. No, but I mean, the freakiest person has limits, and if you have to do something on your cycle, who does that? Oh my god. What do y'all think? Like what are y'all thinking? They did test. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did they test the FO participants? I don't know. But they did make her have bang bang unprotected all the time, to the point where she said yesterday that the antibacterial medicine no longer worked for her. And y'all noticed that she had sores in her mouth from the friction of giving oral. Now you just really think about that. You know what I'm saying? Just really think about that. That is crazy. Hold on. Diddy is horrible. Diddy is horrible. And then Just the fact. So 5 minutes ago, the judge adjourned the court. So it's over for today. So today is done. That was a lot. In this world we live in, I believe there are people who would be good with this. I don't believe she was fully. I do agree with you because there's so much crazy stuff. There's so much crazy stuff going on right now. So much. So I would agree. I would have to agree. So court has been adjourned for the day. Thank God. Are they done with Cassie? Did she have to come back tomorrow? I know she'd be glad when Friday comes because this is a lot. And now her husband has been banned from the court. You know, this is a lot, people. Oh God, Cassie has to come back tomorrow, y'all. This is insane. 400 exhibits have been dumped on the prosecution. They haven't had time to go through it. Kimmy says she thinks tomorrow she's done. I hope so, because this is a lot. This is way too much. This is too much. Mm, mm, mm. This is too much. She's lost friends. I mean, and then like what are her parents thinking? As a parent, to sit there and be told something happened at one point, but then to sit here and find out you you molded my child at 19. You lied to us, right? So when she was of age, you waited till she was about 22 till you just started with the first thing, and you say voyeurism. You start with voyeurism. This is something he likes. By this time, she is falling in love with this man. And she said her music was just no more. This was her job to do this. That's what Kimmy, that's what I said. Kimmy, that's what I said. I was like, Lord have mercy. Please do not let this baby have this baby before it's time. And I will, it's diabolical. You know what I'm saying? That they will wait. And then the defense wanted to put this off longer. Could Cassie have had the baby and couldn't get to court? Like, she's the main victim. She's the main suspect. She's the main witness. And then they talked about the $20 million. They said that Cassie getting $20 million from Diddy ruined him. Ruined him? The way you done ruined this girl's body? She has been mute. I don't care what they say. I don't care what them text messages say. That girl was young when she got with Diddy. Her mind was young. And as you go through with it, she was in a situation where she thought this is what a relationship should be. You understand what I'm saying? If you going with another boy and you talking about you and Sean on a break, but he's still calling you for freak offs and you still going, that's crazy. You know how that goes. You know, if somebody get at you at 16, 17, 19, this is all you know. Then she thought she was going to be a superstar. She thought she was going to be this, pop star. She trusted him. Her family, her parents trusted him. He waited. He waited. And during all that waiting, I'm sure he was doing that on the other side. He probably was not sleeping with that girl at 19, 20, 21. He wasn't doing anything. He was waiting it out because he was over here doing stuff she had no idea about. So by the time she reached the age where he's still doing these things, she put out the Me and You song, and she's doing this. It's on the charts. She on 106 in Park, so she sees it happening. Then he introduces voyeurism. Then he played these little text messages, right? And then now here we are. She over here using as a rag doll. I don't even know why they need to go another 7 weeks. After what she said, why are you going another 7 weeks? Yes, Tammy, they say your frontal lobe has not matured till you're 25. And I'm going to say this. I don't care what the defense says. I don't care what these text messages say. That 15-minute video, when that girl was at the elevator and Diddy came and grabbed her by her head and threw her on the ground with a towel on, and he kicked her like he was trying to make a field goal. You trying to tell me that that's consensual? That's how you think, that's how you act in a relationship. You and your man get into it. He pulls you down, threatens you, kicks you in your head. She said that so many times. So many times. And then just because she got some text messages that says, I was ready for a freak off, this is because this is what he has shown her that a relationship is. So she didn't want to make him mad. She says so many times how, you know, he would get violent. So she didn't want to do that. But in that video, that is never okay. Men are trying to justify saying she took something from him. So what? She took what from him? Because they said that he ended up, when the man came for the camera, the hotel person came, Diddy had her phone. I think something like that. She was trying to get her phone back. This nitwit, let me tell you something. This right here is certifiably insane. All this right here is crazy. Men trying to justify it. How can men justify the way he kicked that girl in the head? And then had y'all seen that not TikTok, that Snapchat, when she was on the floor and she was wrapped up in a sheet? I remember that because I was like, why did he doing this? Like, why is he talking about Cassie? He was like, come on, baby, let's go outside. It's a beautiful day. Let's go run on the beach. Look at her. And then he turned the camera around and she was just balled up in the sheet. And she was like, no. And he was like, come on, baby, look what she does. She don't want to go anywhere. She don't want to do anything. He was literally showing us how he treated her in real time. Because what boyfriend you have, anybody in this chat, all 127 of y'all, everybody in the bushes, what boyfriend or girlfriend have you ever had that would make you do something like that? Have you ever been balled up in a sheet talking about, I don't want to be on camera, and they keep filming you and him telling you, let's go do this, let's go do that? Look at her. Why she don't want to do this? Diddy is crazy. He literally showed us on Snapchat. He showed us that on Snapchat. Have y'all seen that? She was in a gray sheet. He did not have a haircut. I think he had a white t-shirt on, or he had a white shirt on, I think. And she was just wrapped up and she was just moving like, back and forth trying to get away. On Snapchat. And I saw it and I was like, why in the world is Diddy filming this girl like that? She don't even want to be on camera. Like, what's wrong with Cassie? He brought it to us. I've never seen not a one again, but he brought that to us on Snapchat. Diddy showed us in real time how he treats Cassie. And we didn't think anything of it because we could not fathom him having this girl perform oral to the point she has sores in her mouth and people urinating in her mouth. There's no way we would have thought not only Diddy, but anybody was doing that. I'm sorry. He was right in our face doing it. And these people that say, these men like Boosie, talking about it was consensual, she wanted it. Boosie, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And then I was listening to Tisa Tales today, and she was like, Diddy kind of looked at her in a crazy way. I think that would be chilling to see him. Let me see what Tisa got to say. Hold on, y'all. Oh, it's horrible. It's utterly horrible. Let's see what Tisa's talking about. Tisa back.
Have to talk. We have to talk about what's going on in the Diddy trial. Diddy just had a meltdown in the middle of court, and your girl was in the main courtroom, and we saw it all.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. Y'all hear me? Let's listen to a little bit what Tisa said. She posted this an hour ago. This is Tisa Tales.
We have to talk about what's going on in the Diddy trial. Diddy just had a meltdown in the middle of court. The defense is struggling. I don't know how. Listen, the defense was questioning everybody. I'm trying to sneak really quick, and then I'm going back inside. Okay, the defense was literally struggling, and I mean struggling, to find a way to frame things with Cassie. It's so funny that what they ended up doing was basically giving a line of questioning that wasn't to get to the bottom. You're not beating those charges, but you were giving clips for the internet. They asked Cassie about the baby oil, and then it had rugs in it. Cassie was like, "Not while we were together." But the meltdown, y'all, the meltdown. The defense does not know what they're doing. Let me tell you this. They can spin it all they want on these legal shows. All of Diddy's PR people and contacts and pulling every contact they want. Diddy's defense is struggling. That mofo is going to jail with 6 L's behind it. However, I'll tell you what. Right? It seemed like today Diddy woke up and realized, wait a second, this isn't a slam dunk. Why did he do that? Well, check this out, okay? This is the most interesting thing. I'm right at the courthouse. Shout out to y'all. Listen, but let me tell you, and also Sarah, if you're watching this, I will reach out. We're going to do dinner together. Listen. So what happened in the meltdown? I have so many notes, like literally 20 pages of notes.
Ooh, we're not getting into all that.
And get them together for y'all. Hold on one second. Let me show y'all the scene outside the courthouse, too, while I get my notes together, in case y'all curious. So this is the courthouse, right? That's the public entrance. I'm not supposed to be filming on the steps, but the Homeland Security usually let me go. Let me see if I can sneak a little thing. This is all the press lined up right now, right? Your girl's been mixing and matching. Y'all might see me on, well, let me keep it quiet. But look, so this is where the press is. This is the Department of Homeland Security.
Hold on.
What about right here?
Let me get you
like Cinderella balls. What am I doing? I keep forgetting I'm back in New York. Direct. Love your work. Keep it up. Thank you. Literally, they were sitting there. Do you know? Yeah. Just looked at Marco Agafilio and was like, man, just put the fries in the bag, bro, and make sure they hot, right? I was looking at him like, can you please move on? The judge said, nah. He said, so you're going to be done. When you're going to be done your cross. They looked at the judge and said, Yana, Mark Agnifilio. Oh my God, they got in so much trouble today. The judge was like, "Yo, when are y'all going to be done with your when you're going to be done with your cross examination, right?" Everybody know that Cassie got to leave exactly on Friday because she is heavily pregnant. She might go into labor any minute, right?
Oh my God.
Everybody knows that Cassie has to leave. They were talking about all the week. The defense said, oh, somebody just left. Let me take their spot. The defense was like, yo, the defense all week, because they've just been lying, has been like, yo, we'll be done by this day. Don't worry about it, this and that. So today, the judge just happened to just happenstance. It's my fit.
Come on, girl.
Sorry, that's my fit. I got my pre's on. Anyway, but court. I should have wore a tank top underneath, but oh well. I guess I gave everybody a show. Anyway, Tina Kesler said, "Girl, you're doing the damn thing with your reporting. Thank you so much." And Marie said, "Girl, you out here doing it." Also, I am Kim the Gomez. Thank you so much for the super chat. So here's what happened. So the defense was like, the judge just happened to just casually. He wasn't even expecting the answer. He was like, "Yo, so when do you think y'all gonna be done testifying?" Because the defense was bumbling so much. It was so slow. It was just like, oh my God. The judge was like, "Come on." The judge actually asked them, "How long on this? Like, when are you gonna wrap this up?" So he was like, "All right, so when do y'all expect to be done quizzing her? Because you need time for a direct." They're doing a cross examination, then you do a redirect, then you do a redirect cross, right?
Ooh.
So anyway,
okay.
Somebody's out there acting a damn fool. As long as they're not saying he killed Tisa, I will continue. Anyway, I was like, wait, do I hear my name? Right? So anyway, they ain't talking about me. None of my business, right? So anyway, he happened to say that to them. So they literally looked at the judge and said, "We have no idea. It might go Monday, it might go Tuesday." The judge said, "Stop. I've been asking y'all all week when you're going to be done. Y'all told me that you will be done by Friday or mid-morning Friday. What you mean you don't know? And you know this witness has a hard time. Like, this witness can't be around probably next week, right?" So then that's when they were like, "Well, Your Honor, what do you want us to do? The questions come." And the judge was like, "I don't care that you are saying that these questions are coming because you told me this and that, and that's what we base it. And you and everybody else in here know what the rules are." So Mark Agnifilio was like, Yana, this might go to jail for life." And I said, "It's about time somebody started talking about that potential life charges. Mark Agnifilio know that he's looking at life. Yana."
Y'all, they don't even his boots on the ground in New York. Y'all make sure. I think she's gonna go live tonight and talk about it also. Yo, she said tomorrow mid morning, Friday mid morning. Then when they really ask him and double down, they talking about they don't know. Is this too much? Child, I don't want to hear nothing Jaguar White has to say. Nothing. I don't want to hear it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Whew. I'm sorry about the glitches and going on today, y'all. Maybe tomorrow it will be better. Would y'all prefer that? Yes, Tisa is Tisa is something else, honey. I love Tisa Tales. Shout out to Tisa Tales. But she is boots on the ground. She is letting us know. Inner City Press and Tisa Tales and Megan, that's where I'm getting my information from. So shout out to them. Make sure you are following them and all of that. But review over at the end of the day. Do y'all let me get this out real quick. Oh, he is doing a good job. He's in the courtroom. I didn't realize I saw him outside. is amazing. Let me ask y'all this: do y'all prefer that we do a review tomorrow, just a whole big recap, or do y'all want to do a review today? Oh, why is that like that? Wait a minute. I don't know what y'all. This today is wonky. Why does it do that? Okay, let me ask y'all this, and we're gonna go. Do y'all want to do a review tomorrow, just a whole big recap, and then I just do a few things, dropping them here and there tomorrow, and we just do a recap at the end of the day? Dr. Meredith, you're crazy. Yeah, we're gonna just stop and we're just gonna do a review tomorrow. Y'all want to do that? Because I don't know what's going on right here. This is insane. So I'll see. Okay, we'll do a review tomorrow, towards the end of the day for about an hour, like we did today. I want to thank y'all for suffering through this with me today. I don't know what else is going on, but I'll talk to you all tomorrow. It's your girl Millie Chun. Thank y'all for being here. So I don't know what time, but I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all. And I'm sorry about this. This is crazy. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good night.